The team that wins Game 6 to force a Game 7 goes on to win it a lot. Cavs did it in 2016 after trailing 3-1. The Heat did it in 2013 after the Ray Allen shot. Lakers did it in 2010 over the Celtics. So history recently likes the Pacers. Here are SGA and Halliburton on Game 7.
Right now, for the next 2 days, everybody's going to be talking about how good we looked, how well we played, how much pressure's on OKC. You know, that's going to be the narrative. And we got to do a good job of staying away from that stuff. You know, I think that can be poison.
We got exactly what we deserved, what we earned, and we have to own that. It's one game for everything you ever dreamed of. If you win it, you get everything. If you lose it, you get nothing. It's that simple.
So that might just be his choice of words, right? Sometimes you say things and, you know, he's just sitting up there. But it is interesting in a week where ring culture has become a big part of the conversation, where LeBron James weighed in on it in a big way, where in a different way Travis Kelce weighed in on it this week, some of the biggest stars in all of sports. Here's SGA saying, and we'll take him at face value, it is all or nothing. And I think that is an interesting way of framing this entire conversation.
I think there are two ways you can look at it, and UD and Keith, I think you guys recognize this too. When you're in this moment, it is all or nothing because everything's on the line. Now, retrospectively, if you're talking about several years from now, you can look at this season in totality as a success to a degree, right? Because you got all the way to an NBA Finals. But look, the way athletes are built, I always think about my losses before I think about my wins. I think about the fact that I lost to this dude on the left-hand side my freshman year. We got punked against Florida, and they got to the championship game. You think about that, right? And it's, of course, we want to talk about the rings that you win and all the things, but I think we're built to think losses first instead of wins first.
I think a lot of it has to do with what happens from here. If for Indiana, this is a massive success no matter what. They were a 4 seed. They've won all these games.
I don't think they think that.
Perhaps not, but well, all I can do is speak for the way I think the story will be written. The story will be written of these gutsy Indiana Pacers who overcame all these obstacles and made it to Game 7 of the finals. For OKC, it's going to be about a lost opportunity, being the best team all season long, having 2 shots to win it, punting away Game 6, just throwing that game away last night. And if they come home, and look, I still expect them to win, but what the hell do I know? If they lose this thing in a Game 7, I think the part of the way this story will be written, as great as their season was, will be about failure.
Will be the failure of the finals when they got it. And let's not forget Game 1 in your pocket.
Yeah.
Losing that game where you led it for all but 0.3 seconds. Think about that. So to me, that's what he's trying to say, is we know, we just saw, Florida won the Stanley Cup. They get the cup. What did Edmonton do? They got nothing.
Yeah.
They left the ice, nothing. That's the mentality you have to have when you're in the ultimate game and when you're at this level of the finals. That's, I think, what he's talking about. This Thunder team, guys, we have thought this could be the start of something big because of how young they are, how good they are. But if they lose this one at the start, then you start to wonder, will they be back? Do they have enough to win a championship? Do they need more experience? Whatever it is, all those questions now come in.
Right. If this team winds up winning 2 titles over the next 4 years, this will be part of their run.
Miami. Miami lost the first one, but then they won the next 2.
But there was no guarantee of any of that. UD, how about it? You were there, obviously, with LeBron in Miami, and for when to some degree, the whole ring counting conversation, that's sort of the origin story of it all. What do you make of this? SGA saying it's win, it's everything, lose, it's nothing.
I agree with SJ 1,000%. As a player, that's the mindset that you create. If you look at when they won the last round, they celebrated a little bit, but the mindset was, we're not done yet. Job's not done. The famous Kobe quote, the job is not done. Right. And when you look at, this OKC team, it's a disappointing season if they don't win, but, take it into reality. A couple years ago in the play-in, then last year, lost in the conference semis, and then this year they go to the finals. So they have gotten better every single year. But if you're in that locker room, this is a failure season if you don't win the championship. And that's the mindset that you have to create. It's all or nothing. So SJ said it right. And that's also a message to my team. All or nothing, fellas. We've done nothing yet.
Keith?
Same thing UD said, man. Does anything matter if you don't win? Right. You've been the best team all season in the regular season. You've gotten to the mountaintop, right? And that's the thing of when you say championships and all this type of stuff, right? You're here now. So it's not like we're getting ready or we lost the last round and it's a disappointment. You're here now, so anything happen, I see it both sides. You're disappointed, right? Because we downplaying Indiana. They was in the Eastern Conference Finals last year. So, they believe that they can get here. Everybody didn't, but they believe too. So now that they're here, both teams, either team loses, it's a disappointing season.
It's a good point. It's well put. Cindy, let's put up the full screens here. These Game 7s in the NBA Finals, we don't get them often. This Sunday will be the 20th Game 7 in NBA Finals history. And look at this, only the 5th in the last 35 years. Wow. It's only been 5 Game 7s. This will be the 5th, so there've only been 4 in the last 35 years. And Cindy, if we switch them here, they're always close. The average margin of victory is 7. The last 8 Game 7s of the NBA Finals have been decided by single digits, The last double-digit Game 7 in the Finals was the Celtics over the Bucks in 1974. So we are headed for, it would seem, a close game. So UD, who do we trust in that? You got OKC, they're home, they're young. Indiana, there just seems to be a little magic about them. Who do you trust with all the pressure in the world of a Game 7 on them on Sunday night?
I trust Indiana. I've been with Indiana this whole time, and this team has kind of thrived in that chaos. I mean, this is a team that has built the habits of being an underdog. This team has built the habits of having small windows of opportunities and little opportunity to make mistakes. They're a great coach. They have leadership. They have toughness. In the locker room, they have grit. And they understand how they win basketball games. They have very little room for error. They have to share the ball offensively, and that they have to play harder than the other team. They understand who they are. They understand their identity.
Hey, guys, this is the most excited I've been for a basketball game in a long time, a Game 7, because I don't know who to trust. I have zero clue, UD. I hear you, UD. And then if ForHaliburton were to disappear, would any of us be shocked?
No, it's true.
Right? Or this game slowed down and then SGA got, I wouldn't be shocked on that way either. I honestly do not know what to think about this series
it is so
going
true.
into a Game 7, which is why I will be glued to the television.
And why you also know that you just saw the numbers. This is going to be a close game. It's going to be a grinder, right? It's not going to be an up and down. It is going to be a grinder. The last 5 minutes of this game, there's 2 guys to watch. ForHaliburton and SGA. The MVP, by the way, at home, in his own building. He's got to make shots. There is immense pressure on him. We don't like doing it. We like saying it's a team sport. But this guy's the MVP, and that game's in your building. I don't care how old you are. You have played a ton of playoff games already in your career. This is the biggest moment of his career, and it could also decide how we start deciding where he fits when it comes to this generation of talent.
What do you think, Keith? Who do you trust in this game for all the marbles?
I'm going to go with UD on this one, man. I really trust Rick Carlisle. That's my main thing. But like I've said before, man, it's the turnovers. If Indiana cannot turn the ball over and get quality shots, they're going to put themselves in prime position to win this game. Like I said before, OKC has been averaging 25 points off turnovers. That's the highest since 1997. They really thrive in scoring off turnovers. So if they take care of the ball and can create great attempts, they could be in this game, and I could see them winning this game.
Keith doing research. I like that very much. I'll give you another one. I'll give you another number.
You got to come with something, Greeny.
I like it. UD, let me give you one more quickly here. The average score, I mentioned there have only been 4 Game 7s in the last 35 years in the finals. The average final score of those games is 88 to 84. They've been very, very low scoring. Pressure kicks in, and all that kind of stuff. It's heavily influenced by that one between San Antonio and Detroit, where the final score, one of the teams scored in the 70s. But anyway, that's been the average final score. If the game is low scoring, does that favor OKC, the defensive team that wants to slow it down? If history repeats itself in that regard, does that favor OKC?
Now I'm with Jay Will on that. I don't know what to say about that one because you would like to believe that history will repeat itself, and in a slow-paced game that will play to the favor of OKC. But, I mean, you look at what T.J. McConnell has been able to do in the half court. You look at what Pascal Siakam has been able to do in the half court. Indiana has figured out where to go in the half court. And please, if one thing I could say to OKC, stop playing soft to soft on TJ McConnell, please.
Oh, my
give
goodness.
him 5 steps.
Thank you.
Yeah, soft to soft.
Thank you.
He is getting downhill every time and attacking you. You have to push up and make him go one way. Because if you're going to play soft to soft, he's going to get wherever he wants to go. And he's going to pull up like he left his phone, and you're going to get back on defense saying, damn, what we need to do to stop him. You're not guarding him properly. Stop guarding him like that. I'm tired of watching that.
UD, I just want us to think about what we just spoke about, what you just said. If it comes down to the half court, the best option for the Pacers over the last 2 games has been TJ McConnell.
Yes.
It's been TJ McConnell.
And by the way, how many outlet passes does he intercept?
He's
how
everywhere.
many
He's a
times
pest.
does he
Inbound
get in the way?
passes too,
He,
yeah.
he really is. He's a pest. And
He's
but
the guy at 24-hour fitness. You're like,
immaturity.
stop, get off me,
in
man.
the best possible way. By the way, I have a Seeing Green odds boost for Game 7 on the ESPN Bet Sportsbook. Wasting no time to get in on the action. I've got a first basket prop. We've never done this before. I'm putting Pascal Siakam on one side, SGA on the other. If either one of them scores the first basket on Sunday night, this will cash as a winner. We have it boosted for you right now on ESPN Bet Sportsbook. So check it out right now if you want to get in on the action early for Sunday night. Coming up, we will get in this story. Shedeur Sanders getting a lot of